Welcome back, everybody. You're back at Metaphysically Lux. I know it's been a minute since I've done any type of recording, but I've actually been recovering from a surgery. Once I was recovered, I had a really hard time getting back into this. There seemed to be some sort of fear surrounding it, and I think it has something to do with all the heavy energy of Lionsgate here. So I decided I'm going to switch things up a little bit, and I'm going to get into doing actual love reads by not just collective, but by the actual zodiac sign within the collective. But we are, however, going to start with the air collective today. So let's say we sit here and find out what the cards have to say for the collective of Aquarius. This read is for Aquarius. I ask for my guides, goddesses, and spirits to help transfer clear, concise messages for what Aquarius needs to hear today. What does Aquarius need to hear today? Okay, well, it looks like we have a lot of transformative energy around this collective. This could again be due to Lionsgate itself, because it is one of the biggest transforming energies we have within the year. Basically, it's a manifestation gold mine. So we're going to start here with the center of this read is actually looking at the Two of Wands. And so the Two of Wands is standing at a crossroads and not necessarily making that decision yet, but standing there pondering which way should you go. So you are actually bookended on both sides of that choice, with one moving forward. So this is making sure that you're moving towards something that you believe is going to better you. You also are bookended on the other side with the Death card. Now this is deep, deep transformation. So this could actually mean that you have a little bit of a spiritual journey to go through before you make this full decision. You have the King of Pentacles up here in the corner next to the World card. So this is telling me that there's going to be some sort of acknowledgement coming, and possibly around a business or something that you may be building or have built. You do also have the Four of Pentacles. So this is the either hanging on tight, so it could be a bit of a bumpy ride, or it can actually be telling you to pull back a little. There may be some financial troubles coming, or you might actually just be overspending. Maybe you need to go over and find out where things are actually flourishing for the money that you have spent and where they're not. Basically trimming the fat. I'm kind of hearing trimming the fat. Now, you do also have the King of Cups here. So I'm guessing that you are by nature quite emotionally stable. You might get your panties in a bunch once in a while. But for the most part, I think you tend to play your emotions cautiously. Try to make sure that you're not making too many turbulent waters. I'm really attracted to the water and the Six of Swords here when I was talking about that. And sometimes you might have to actually mix it up. And the fact that you've got the Nine of Cups here next to it. So this is kind of like the wish fulfillment card, but to me, it's also a card of overindulgence. Now that could mean you've been overindulging and might need to pull back, or you may actually need to cut loose a little. And I'm kind of thinking with the Hierophant here, the Hierophant to me is kind of a staunch type nature. It's traditional. It's possibly religious. So with that next to it, I'm guessing that this is actually stifling a little bit of this, and there might be more time needed for the play side of life. We're going to go ahead and get some clarification on all of these, but this is actually looking like a really good read for you, Aquarius. I would tell you, first of all, to really take some time to yourself. because this does look like it's going to need a bit of a spiritual journey in order to all come together with that Hierophant there and the Death card transformation. Aquarius is naturally great at making decisions because you tend to keep your emotions under control for it. This is why I think that this King of Cups has come out here. But I think this is actually telling you to let go a little. Use a little bit of that emotion next to the logic to be sure that you're actually keeping yourself happy through what you're doing. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and clarify this King of Pentacles. So again, yeah, this is kind of telling me that it's time to open up that emotions a little bit, because this has got you sitting in regret for something. Now, regret is on the emotional side, and if you notice, there's a lot of spilt cups here, but there's still 2 in the back. So possibly you're not concentrating on the area that you should be. And for me right now, that's stating the emotions, because you do have a 10 of Swords over here. So something has to come to an end. I don't believe this is actually coming around the business, because you do have the Chariot as well. Now, the Chariot is victory. It's also a card of willpower. It might take you some really deep willpower to make this final ending. Again, with this 4 of Pentacles over here, I'm kind of thinking there's something in the ways of a business where you need to trim the fat. It might be something that you're quite emotionally attached to. It might be something that you are really loving doing, but it's just not bringing in the money. So it's time for it to go. With your Chariot card, this is actually a card of not only victory and willpower, it's also of moving forward. It's always constantly moving forward. Now, it may actually have a 2-step forward, 1 step back nature to it, because it is the duality card. It's the, you know, the yin and the yang, the positive, the negative, and everything we do in life has some of that. Sometimes we don't truly focus on both sides of it. And I think it's going to take focus on both sides of this in order for you to make that final decision where you've got to trim things down and get rid of something. I would almost guess permanently. Now, mind you, this is also a card of starting again. So it's ending a cycle and starting a cycle. So you may actually find something to replace what it is that you've been trying to work with that's not actually working as well as you thought it would. Let's go ahead and clarify this World card. This is the acknowledgement. You have some sort of acknowledgement that's coming. I'm guessing it is around a business, or you may have actually just had some sort of acknowledgement around a business. Wow, okay, we got a message over here. We're going to put this aside because these came out pretty quick and in a clump. Ooh, this is interesting. We'll finish off with clarifying the World first, and then we'll read the message. And the World is clarified. Ooh. All right, so the World is clarified by the 10 of Cups, the 7 of Swords, and the 8 of Wands. Something not quite so happy around the home life. There might be some really quick communication coming in, but it's not necessarily nice communication. This can be the card of sneakiness or nastiness. It can also be the card of self-delusion. Like he's picking up all these swords, but he's leaving 2 behind. Well, these could very easily end up in his back if he doesn't come back for them. It can also mean that you do have to come back to a more basic thoughts around your home life. And there could be some communication that brings you back to that. Okay, so with that World card, I'm kind of getting somebody likes the success that you have created, but they're wondering how much more you're going to neglect the home life. This could be part of that spiritual growth that I'm talking about. You may actually have to learn to really balance things a little more on the emotional side with your logical side. I know that logical side says work, 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 get that money, but the emotional side needs to take care of the home. This is also like it's Eight of Wands. So this is a passion card. This is a high passion card. Maybe there's a little more passion that needs to go into the home. Not necessarily always in the negative, which it seems like that might be when things focus on the home. When something goes wrong is when you focus on the home. You need to start focusing a little more on the home when things are going right. Bring some of that passion into the home. I'm going to go ahead and clarify the Six of Swords. As I said, this is the moving forward card. This might even be kind of pushing you towards I kind of get home. Something needs to be taken care of at home. Or maybe you need to bring your business home. Or focus the business around a home. We have another message here. Okay, yeah, maybe you really need to focus more on your home life for quite a while, because we do have the Wheel of Fortune, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Ace of Swords. So for me, this is stating that there's too much time passed, and the time when you've looked back and reflected that the work that was put in was not worth what has grown. This could actually mean that somebody with the truth here, the Ace of Swords, it's a very cold truth. It could mean that somebody's actually looking at the idea of moving away from you because you're not giving enough attention. This could be around a family issue. This could be possibly you're not communicating with your own family and they're possibly moving away from you because of such. I'm going to clarify the Two of Wands. Can we get some clarification on what choices they're staring at? It's a new beginning. Or trying again on something that didn't go right or well the first time. And options. Yeah, so your Two of Wands and your options card state that you're too cluttered. Your head is too cluttered. You need to take some time. You need to get away. This is my throwing things at the wall and see what sticks card. But it's also, if you notice, he's got some wands in behind him. And I don't look at it as building walls, because you don't want to build a wall in front of you where nobody can get in. But build one behind you for protection from the shit that you've already passed. Don't look back. Okay? Those options are not always what they seem. If you look at these, they're more like a fantasy, okay? And this could literally be just fantasy that you're creating when you could have something much more tangible if you turn to a much more emotional side of things, and possibly around the home front again. And it might even bring about a fresh new start. Now, this is a very serious start because it is a pentacle. Again, this is coming across to me like there's somebody out there that's actually trading love for money is the way I'm looking at it. And you might want to rethink that, because someday when you come back for that love, it might not be where you left it. And with the King of Cups here and the Nine of Cups, that's what it's getting to me, is you need to come back into more of this emotional side of things and have some fun. Like literally take some time for fun. And the Hierophant on here, I am guessing that's basically around a home or possibly even an actual marriage, because that is the Traditions card. I'm going to go ahead and clarify this Death card. Now, death is like a rebirth. It is a transformation, and it's a pretty heavy one. It's not like it's deciding between what you want for supper, like it's deciding what you want to do for life. So we have a Page of Pentacles. That's a pretty serious offer, again, but it's in the hands of somebody that doesn't know how to actually use it. We have the Knight of Cups and the Hermit. So again, this is telling me you have the knowledge of the emotion that needs to be put forth so that you can actually learn how to put this offer forward in a way that it's going to be accepted. This is also the attraction card for me. I really get, I get stuck on how gallant he's trying to look there, and the peacan that's there. Oh, actually, no, I think that's a peacock. That is a peacock. It's not in full bloom like in the other cards, so it's really hard to tell. But yeah, peacock. So give yourself a little more attractive attention and fun. And you might find that you put a little more fun back in either something traditional such as a marriage or just your home life. It's always well and good to be focused on making a good future for yourself, but sometimes it comes at a cost, and that cost can actually be a long-term love. You don't want to pay that cost. I'm just going to go ahead and see if there's any other messages that need to come for you. Okay, yeah, so you're basically self-imprisoning yourself at this moment. But there's a lot of passion underneath. You need to let some of that passion out. That passion needs to come out to play. Actually, if it doesn't, I'm actually getting volcano. It's going to explode. You really don't want that, because then it won't come out in forms that are going to be good for you. Look at that. We got the Two of Cups. This is where you want your passion. Your Two of Cups. Your Two of Cups is, it's my soulmate card. It is it's a union. If you notice, it's kind of, they're kind of opposites. One has lighter hair than the other. Definitely opposites in sex, but that does not necessarily mean anything. These are not gender specific, and genders are fluid in all of my reads. But that's where the passion, yeah, there we go. Passion, oh, wow. And the strength to give full love. This is all around you making a choice, and that choice seems to be around what's going to be more important down the road. This road that you're going to travel on, it can be a lonely one, or it doesn't have to be. So the last message that I saw here, this was pretty powerful. So truth is illuminating the fact that there is a divine couple. Look at this. You don't get any more divine than that. Okay, we have an emperor and we have an empress, but we have the strength card in reverse. To me, this is telling me they can't reach each other. They need to actually drop that so they can reach each other. If you're trying to be strong for something in a way of, I'm not sure, permanency of living, a good, strong retirement or anything like that is not worth the loss of this. Nothing comes close to this. This is the absolute divine couple. They don't just live together. They built empires together. Maybe sometime for this, if you can't actually let go of how much focus you put on the pentacles, bring that person, whomever, within the fold of the business. Find a way that you can both work together. And for you who are not actually in a connection out there, but building a business, this actually just came for me. This is actually telling you that you are only acting in one form or another. You're not combining the two strengths. So everybody has a female and a male presence about them and energy about them. And this is stating that you're only acting in one or the other at one time, when you actually have the courage to do both. So you're going to keep the home fires burning and nurture what it is that you do, but you're going to act like the biggest boss in the world and even kick yourself in the ass if that's what it takes. That was just for a couple of you. I'm not sure how many, but it just came into my head there. So we're just going to go ahead and see if we can do a little bit more on if you are single. What do we got for our single Aquariuses out there? Well, if you are single, you won't be long. This is an elevation in love. This is a choice. It could actually even be a choice between two. If you have more than one suitor out there, it's telling you it's time to make a choice. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's a permanent choice. It could just be a direction to choose for now. I'm getting strength again. No, it's courage. It's courage. There might be somebody with romantic tendencies towards you that you're really going to have to set strict, clear boundaries with. There it is. Yeah. Very, very strict, clear boundaries with. Sometimes it's going to take a lot more strength than others. I'm not stating that this person doesn't have your best interest at heart, but they can't see over their own interest before yours. That's not always a bad thing. Yeah, it comes across a little on the selfish side, but in just a dating type situation, you really haven't invested enough to know what somebody needs, to know when it is time to truly devote to that person and pull back to make sure that you're within their boundaries. In the beginning of a relationship, it's kind of like a tug of war, and somebody's going to want to win. And that's basically what I'm getting here, is somebody wants to win at all costs. And it is around a romantic connection. But you have more strength and determination than you know, and it will solidify this connection when it's time, if you keep your boundaries in place. Any more information for single Aquarius? Any more information for single Aquarius? Yeah, just wait. True love is coming. Don't force it, just wait. Oh, and watch Temptations. Oh, look at that. We have the Passion card first. We have the Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands is a very passionate woman, but she also is determined. She's determined to make sure that her household's in order. She keeps the home fires burning. She makes sure that those around her know that she loves them. But we're saddled with the Devil card here. So this is possibly somebody that you are still passionately connected to is toxic. It's time to do the deep dive. It's time to go through your relationships and start to weed them out. Toxicity only breeds toxicity. And if you are actually in a position of business, you really don't want toxicity in your home. So this is what I have for you today, Aquarius, and I hope you will be back with us again for the next read. If you haven't yet, please subscribe and give us a thumbs up, thumbs down, whichever. Totally up to you. And I hope that you will be back. If you are a ride or die, bright blessings. If you're just checking us out, I truly hope we are your tribe. Thanks a lot. Bye.